on.
Hello class, welcome to our continuing series of this lesson of this topic physics. Topic is still measurements 2. Today our focus will be on another device, not like the one we talked about last time, another one called the micrometer screw gauge. In our last lesson, we did talk about a measuring device called the vernier calipers. After reviewing about rules which we learned in Form 1, we talk about a vernier calipers and how it is used. We talk about the part of the vernier calipers, how to use it, and how to deal with what we call zero errors when using a pair of vernier calipers. Today, we are going to look at another device used to measure length, and that will be the micrometer screw gauge. We'll also look at parts of the micrometer screw gauge. We'll look at how to use it and also how to deal with the zero errors that will be. Okay, a micrometer screw gauge is used to measure very small lengths ranging from 0.10 millimeters up to about 25.00 millimeters. So while this one is far much more accurate, it measures up to 0.01 of a millimeter, the vernier calipers was used to measure up to 0.1 of a millimeter. Now this figure shows you how a micrometer screw gauge looks like, at least the main part. But I'm going to show you two in particular. Let me have you close to this. These are the vernier calipers. I'm having two of them here, and the two are supposed to be different slightly, though you may not notice the difference, but they are different in this respect. They do have this almost U-shaped part. We do have the part anvil and all that, which where you put your objects herein, and it is fixed. Hammer and anvil, you fix your object there. Then there's a main scale. The main scale will be on this part here. And then there's a head scale, or what we call a thimble scale, on this part. The difference between these two devices is that whereas this one is divided on this part into 100 divisions, the other one is divided into 50 divisions. But for the one divided into 50 divisions, on the main scale, we have divisions that are 0, then between 0 and 1 millimeter, there is 0.05, halfway point. While on the one that is divided into 100 parts, on the main scale, there is no 0.05 of a division. That's the slight difference between them. But therefore, we look at this part, and you can see that. That's how it looks like. We have what you call this anvil, this part, and the spindle. So this is where, if you're measuring the length, diameter of an object, the object is put here, in between, here. And then it is fixed. By turning this thimble scale, it moves this thimble and fixes the object fast, so that you can get the readings. So we have a lock on this part, which is supposed to be used to fix again the spindle firmly. Then on this sleeve, that's where you have the main scale, from 0 to 25 millimeters, depends. While on the thimble scale, or what we call head scale, it will be divided either into 50 parts like this, if there's a division on the main scale on the lower side. If there's no division on the lower side of the main scale, then this thimble scale will be divided into 100 different parts. And then on the final last part of the ratchet knob. The ratchet knob is supposed to be used once something is fixed here. You turn this one so that it does not become so tight. The object will still be fixed tight, but you can actually move your micrometer screw gauge and get your respective readings. So remember those parts. The anvil, it is fixed. The spindle, which varies, moves from place to place, is supposed to fix the object. The lock, which is supposed to fix the spindle once it is attached to the object. we have the sleeve, and on the sleeve we have the main scale, then you have the thimble or the head, and we have what called the thimble scale or the head scale, and then we have the ratchet knob and their respective functions. So, a micrometer screw gauge is an instrument that can be used to measure diameters of wires and the thickness of steel plates to an accuracy of 0.01 millimeters. Basically, they measure very small measurements. Now remember a ruler is between 0 to 1 centimeters is divided into 10 parts. Each part is 1 millimeter. So for that 1 millimeter, divided into 10 parts, into 100 parts, that's what we get here, 0.01 of a millimeter. So it is used to measure very small measurements, like now the diameter of a very thin wire or the thickness of a steel plate. That's very small. The micrometer scale comprises of, like we've said, the main scale marked on the sleeve and the scale marked on the thimble, which is called the thimble scale. We did look at our earlier diagram and we saw what we mean by the main scale, or what we mean by the main scale or on the sleeve. The sleeve also touches which is fixing the object on the anvil. Then we do look at the thimble scale, which, like I've said, in this one it will be divided into 50 parts because the main scale has a half division on the lower part of the main scale. The difference between one division on the upper scale and one division on the lower scale is 0.5 millimeter. That will be on the main scale if it is divided on this part. So this is 0 and this is 1 millimeter. This should be 0.5 millimeter. This is 1 and this is 2. The division between will be 1.5 millimeter and so forth and so forth. So again, the other diagram, as you can see, showing the anvil, spindle, the lock, the sleeve with the main scale, the thimble with the thimble scale, and the ratchet knob. So the micrometer scale comprises the main scale, which marks on the main scale, and the thimble on the thimble scale, like we said. This instrument can be used to measure diameters of wire and thickness of steel plates, which are that small, up to 0.01 of a millimeter. That's a very good representation of the entire diagram. What I've shown you earlier, that's the object. This is the diagram. It is not as big as you can see here. It is this small. So we have the anvil on this part. We have the spindle, as you can see, that U-shaped holder, which is holding the two. We have the sleeve with the main scale therein. We have the sleeve with the main scale. We have the thimble with the thimble scale. And then we have the ratchet at the end. The reason why I call it a thimble is because it's just like, it looks like that metal object which was used back then. They still use it now for sewing. So if you're sewing using a needle and a thread, you put that metallic thimble to minimize the chance of you injuring yourself by putting a needle in your finger, on a finger. So the thimble protects, it looks the same shape. So the same shape of a thimble. Good. So the thimble scale is divided into, for the one that is divided into half parts of the main scale, into 50 equal divisions. When the thimble is rotated through one complete turn, that is 360 degrees, the gap between the anvil and the spindle increases by or reduces by 0.50 millimeter. Now this is what it means. We have this spindle here, we have the anvil here. Once this part is turned through 360 degrees, it moves back or forth, depending on how you're turning it, by 0.50 millimeters. That's what it means. A complete rotation in the thimble makes this anvil to move towards the spindle to move towards the anvil by 0.50 millimeters. This means that one division on the thimble scale is equal to 0.5 millimeters divided by 50. That will be 0.01 millimeters. 0.01 millimeters. Okay, let's get that. Because one rotation makes it to move by 0.50 millimeters, and there are 50 divisions here. That means you divide that, you get that one rotation, the gap between here should be 0.01 millimeter. For the micrometer screw gauge, where there are no divisions on the lower side of the main scale, it means the thimble scale is divided into 100 parts. And that will mean that every 360 degrees rotation will move this by 0.10 millimeter. So if you divide that by 100, it again will be 0.01 millimeter. So basically what I mean is, whether you are using the one whose thimble scale is divided into 100 parts, or you're using the other whose thimble scale is divided into 50 parts, the ultimate or the final reading should be the same. The final reading in measurements should be the same. So when taking a reading, the thimble is turned until the object is gripped very gently between the anvil and the thimble. I'll be demonstrating these instructions. If this is my object of interest, I'm going to turn the thimble like that, so that the objects can be fixed in between the spindle and the anvil there. So I turn it, turn until the object is firmly fixed there, like that. Until the object is firmly fixed. Not yet. Yeah, not yet. There. Until it is firmly fixed between the spindle and the anvil. That's the first step. Next step is the ratchet knob is then turned until a click sound is heard. This one. Turn it until a click sound is heard, which means it has now been firmly fixed between the two. There. Firmly fixed between the two. Good. Now the ratchet knob of a micrometer screw gauge is used to prevent the user from exerting undue pressure. By turning that, it prevents me from putting too much pressure on the object that I'm trying to measure, which, if I do put too much pressure, it will lead to its being damaged. Okay? At the same time, it helps put an object firmly in between here, so that eventually I can get a very accurate reading of the length that I'm looking for. Okay, the grip of the object must not be excessive, as this will affect the accuracy of the reading. If it is excessive, it will damage the shape of this object, therefore you get a wrong reading. Now this, it does by preventing the squashing of the object or by using too much force. So it's very important to use the ratchet. Now, this is how we get the readings, the value of what we are measuring. If you look at this diagram here, the last graduation on the main scale indicates the position between 2.0 millimeter and 2.5 millimeter in this particular micrometer screw gauge. This is supposed to be 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, there should be a 2.5, but because you cannot see that line, so that indicates that the last reading that I'm getting here is 2.0 millimeters on the main scale. So it is 2.0. Secondly, the reading on the micrometer screw gauge is the sum of the main scale reading and the thimble scale reading. Now, if I look at the thimble scale here, I'm looking for a marking on the thimble scale which is coinciding with this line here on the main scale, coinciding with that line. So I have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 up to 20, I have 21, and then on the 22nd marking on the thimble scale. The 22nd marking on the thimble scale is coinciding with this line here. Now remember, we say that the gap between this one, in this case, is 0.01. So if I multiply 22 by 0.01, I get 0.22 millimeters. I add it to the main scale reading, which was 2.0, and I get my reading to be 2.22 millimeters. 2.22 millimeters.